Do 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 do. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith. No, I'm not quitting my day job, but that little ditty is called Axel F by Harold Faltermeyer, and it is from Beverly Hills Cop. It's Axel Foley's theme, and when you hear that theme in Beverly Hills Cop, you know something's about to go down. Ladies and gentlemen, I am coming to you from the dining room, and I wanted to talk to you about Beverly Hills Cop. Why in the year 2016 am I talking to you about a movie that came out in 1984? Let me tell you, the good people at Cineplex have decided to have something called the Great Digital Film Festival. And as part of that Great Digital Film Festival, they are bringing back oldies but goodies like Beverly Hills Cop. So I had the opportunity of actually checking this movie out on the big screen, and I thought to myself, I'm sure there are a lot of people who have seen it, but that doesn't mean that in 2016 we can't talk about it. Because it's the first time I ever saw this movie on the big screen. I've seen it on video and what have you, but big screen, no. Axel Foley on the big screen, it was fantastic. So some of you might be saying, well, what's Beverly Hills Cop? And for those of you, I apologize, incomplete childhood. Beverly Hills Cop was a movie that exploded in the mid-'80s, and it pretty much launched Eddie Murphy's career. And for those of you who are wondering who Eddie Murphy is, he is the guy who pretty much paved the way for people like Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Kevin Hart. He was the guy who basically was the premier comic back in those times. Anyways, well, that's what the internet tells me. So let me break this movie down for you. This movie's about so many things. It's about Eddie Murphy being hilarious. It is about Eddie Murphy's career completely taking off. But at the core of this movie, it is about friendship. The plot of this movie is as follows. Eddie Murphy plays Axel Foley, a street-smart detective from Detroit, whose best friend, a guy by the name of Michael Tandino, comes to visit him in Detroit. They go out for a wild night of partying, they have a good time, and when they come back to Axel's apartment, they get ambushed, and Michael gets murdered. The next thing you know, Axel Foley's on the case trying to figure out who would murder his best friend and why his best friend was murdered. And the investigation takes him to Beverly Hills. So we've got the street smart cop trying to fit in with high society in Beverly Hills. It's quite entertaining. One of the things that I really like about this movie, like I said before, is the friendship. The loyalty that Axel Foley has for his friend, where he drops everything to find out exactly what's going on. And just when you think Axel Foley's just this sly-talking, extremely funny guy, you realize that he's got extremely solid detective skills. This movie is one that you really want to check out. And if you get a chance to check it out through the film festival, that's great. And if not, definitely make it a must-see movie on your list if you haven't already. The supporting cast is fantastic. There's a lot of great cameos of actors who would come on to be phenomenal. Here's a little trick for you. See if you can spot Damon Wayans in this movie. I really enjoyed it. I think you will too if you haven't already seen it. And if you have seen it, drop me a line and let me know what you think. Let me know how it ranks amongst Eddie Murphy's movies to you. I think it's one of his better ones. I actually like Beverly Hills Cop 2 better, but again, the first one's pretty solid in its own right. As always, you can drop me a line, CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier and WittyWhittier.com. I appreciate you taking the time to check this out. My name is Keith, and I'll see you at the movies.